next step. Kozlovsky absolutely in that conversation as a player to watch alongside his center back partner, Noah Badman. Walker of Russell, Ontario. Antonaro has it on free by Jose Masunda. Opportunity to change the tempo and go quick. Antonaro tries to drag it down. It's off the chest of Borges and sent into touch.
Brought up a really key word there, Adam, tempo. And that's what's going to need to be done for Atletico Ottawa to break down this Forge team. But the way Forge is set up, the ball has to move quicker. Has to move quicker to set up numbers advantage actions on the outside for Atletico Ottawa. Both teams are still feeling each other out early on in the game, but as it progresses, I think that would be a great way for Ottawa to get in the attack quicker and move the ball quicker and break down Forge.
Bobby Smirniotis, head coach and sporting director for FC Hamilton. His 8th season with the club, one of 2 OGs, if you will, standing from season 1. Pacific's James Merriman, who we will see tomorrow, has been with Pacific from day 1 as well, but not in the head coaching position. Other matchups in the Canadian Premier League's match week 1 later on today, a coastal clash of sorts. Vancouver FC, led by Martin Nash, hosting the new look Halifax Wanderers as Vanni Sartini returns to the Lower Mainland. And tomorrow, from the islands, Vancouver Island, it's Pacific hosting Cavalry. Those are the 6 clubs in action in this opening weekend. Anthony Aromaterio off of Kevon Tavernier and into touch. It's an Atletico Ottawa throw. Diego Mejia, he was one of the great stories from 2025, arriving in the nation's capital, changing his team, and ultimately leading them to a championship. And now has a pair of these football video support challenge cards. We'll explain some more of the nuances when we first see it. I would be shocked if we don't get a challenge today at some points. And it really, John, makes the 4th official's job a lot more intense, a lot busier as he manages the benches, tablets, communication, all the things he's used to doing, and some changes for pace of play and the like as well. It's going to be a bit of a trial by fire for the referees as well as they adjust to the new reality of the season.
Yeah, I think we just have to be patient and feel this out. This is new for everybody. The first time they're using this, not only the FBS, but the offsides in any sort of competition. It's going to take some time, and with regards to the FBS and the 4th official, a job by the 4th official is just getting yelled at from both coaches the whole game, and along with the benches. So with this, it's going to add a lot more intensity to that position, and something that the referees are going to have to handle and deal with throughout the year until this gets settled down, everybody gets an understanding of how this is going to work.
It's a clever spot from Aparicio. Koke ahead to the Atletico Ottawa attacking player Daniel Aguilar, 28-year-old Guadalajara in his first match in the CPL.
Saw a picture of Mejia earlier. Confident coach, was confident in his team. Great little turn there.
Line up for a foul, says Yusri Rudolph, our referee today.
Extremely confident, but he wants his team to be more aggressive. More aggressive than they have been in the past. From the back 3 as they look to build through.
Batney, long ball up towards Balu Tabla, sneaking into the middle, support from Nickelbust. The new number 9 replacing Sam Salter. Big boots to fill. Hustling over the 29-year-old. Thought that he had done enough to get that off Razor Rama and out for a throw. Slip ball from Razor Rama. That should be an illegal throw, and it's one the referee feels almost a little sympathy for the player, but it is the right call. Atletico Ottawa take over possession. Don't see that every day.
Then he just dried off the ball in his hands right before he was about to throw and still slipped.
touch comes from Antoine Baptiste. This is Aguilar now. Yevremovich, pardon me, blasted back into the Ottawa defensive half. So on top of the FBS and the offside, John, one of the things that has been really an imperative point for FIFA and Arsene Wenger, the director of football, and how it's flowing is pace of play and time wasting. How do you speed up the sport? Well, one of the areas, throw-ins, goal kicks, any sort of restart after a whistle, but those two in particular. If, for example, Atletico Ottawa have a throw, the referee thinks they're taking too long or aren't really in a hurry to get play restarted. We're thinking more of the second half in particular for this. They can blow the whistle, put up 5 fingers and start to count them down. If at the end of that countdown, the throw has not been taken yet, they would say, okay, blow the whistle again and hand it to the other team. It can happen on goal kicks. It would switch to a corner. It can happen on corners and switch to.
I like this rule. I like that rule a lot, Adam. Get the ball back into play as quick as possible. I know there's some dark arts involved when you're leading or protecting a lead and want to slow the game down, and that can be done. Just got to be done in a little bit sharper manner now instead of feigning an injury, just going searching for a ball. The referee now has a lot more pressure, along with the fourth official. The official in the middle has a lot more pressure on him to understand how the game is evolving, what teams are looking to do in certain moments to take advantage of the clock and mitigate that with this signaling of time dwindling to get the ball back into play.
Some nuances as well to injuries and substitutions, but I don't want our viewers' eyes to completely glaze over in the first half, so let's take a break from some of those tweaks and focus on the football. Forge, the first time in the attacking third, really, at least in possession, Tavernier drove to the middle, couldn't find a way by. Tavernier makes the tackle, throw with Atletico Ottawa. Player that Forge are excited to have back, there's no doubt about it. 20-year-old from Brampton, played his youth football with Glen Shields SC. Moving up the ranks to Sigma back in 2023. The Canadian U17 and 20 teams came calling. Trial with AS Monaco's reserves as well, shortly after scoring a goal in Champions Cup against Chivas Guadalajara in 2024.
Pretty good here in the last 14 minutes of this game. Brian Wright now 3 times has done a good job of holding the ball up. In this case, he does a good job of shielding, gets fouled, goes down, gets a free kick. First good action for Forge in the attacking third. Put a ball in the box and test the goalkeeper. Put him in a predicament where he's got to make a decision. Young goalkeeper. Make it hard for him early on.
Tristan Crampton asks for 2 in his wall. Assistant referee on the near side, Twain Anderson, with the new offside rule percolating in his thoughts, keeping an eye on how the teams are aligned atop the penalty area. Gorgeous left-footed delivery, looking for Baptiste, and then contact on right. Unfortunately for Tristan Crampton, the young man's first real involvement is a foul on Brian Wright, and the Hammers, likely the man who drew the foul, will head to the penalty spot to try to open the scoring in 2026.
Unfortunate for Crampton, a bit over-aggressive here as the ball's going away from him. Brian Wright gets himself in position and just gets taken down. But as we look at this replay, really look at Jose Masunda. He does a good job of creating some space with a little bit of a pick. And it opens it up.
We'll jump in to see, John, just as you're explaining what we saw, we see the FBS card in hands. He's twirling his finger, that's the signal. He's going to hand the card to the 4th official, Scott Bowman. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to football video support in the Canadian Premier League. So jogging over, Yusri Rudolph. He will join Scott Bowman, the 4th official, at the video monitor placed in between the benches. A few things we can discuss here. They are looking at the same cameras that we have access to in the broadcast truck. We know teams use their Spideo cameras. Those are the big overviews that they use for tactical analysis. Those can't be seen. And there's a little bit of Canadian Premier League history as we take a look. Right side of your screen is the review on what is being looked at by Yusri Rudolph. Of course, the left side is the referee and fourth official having a look. So we'll look at every part of the play, John. So as we see a freeze frame, the potential that that's offside at the time the ball was kicked. You can see the foot, but also he's not offside because under the new rules he's in line with the defender. So as they'll eventually play it through, they will see the challenge from Tristan Crampton, seemingly missing the ball, getting the man, and that's why the whistle was blown for the penalty. The referees also have a technical area painted on the turf as well. Coaches and players, everyone not involved in this review.
I'm looking at this line, and I don't see anybody offsides. Right? The only thing I can think of is that they want the review on the Masunda pick, which is right at the top of the 18 as he's looking back, trying to open up space for the runners behind him. Unless that was where Ottawa has suggested they take a look at because they thought there was a foul there. Or the touch there and now is right offsides. So it's not on the initial ball in. It looks like it could be from here. As you see a sort of
catches Abadne in the face. So if they spot a foul, it doesn't necessarily need to be the foul that was given. It's the entire APP, they call it the attacking phase of play. So if they think, for example, that Baptiste here catches Abadne in the face with a dangerous high boot, that could be a foul. Before the altercation, if you will, with keeper and Brian Wright, they could bring it back for that foul. But as we all figure this out, taking a little bit longer than I'm sure Forge would like, and if this penalty would be to stand, the decision on field were to be upheld, the person taking the penalty is going to have a long time to think about it.
You know, what I would love to know is exactly what was coming from the Ottawa bench to the referees to review. We're speculating.
It sounds like, John, from what I've been told at least, is that they are challenging a foul before the penalty. That's the information that's been communicated to me. Now they can look at the entire APP again, the attacking phase of play, and also as well, these reviews are meant to be quick, and I'm sure with more practice they will be. Ultimately, the fact that we have a football video support review now means we want to get the calls on the field right. That is the priority. It also means we'll probably see some larger numbers of stoppage time at the end of these games.
Again, I think this is what they wanted to eliminate with the FBS in some way, is the time that it takes to do the reviews. And unfortunately, our first one of the year is taking a little bit longer, but this is what's going to happen until the system irons out itself through use.
While we wait for a decision, John, what are some of the other things that stood out when we as a group, when soccer and the CPL were able to meet with FIFA explaining how the technology is used, or some of the nuances in terms of how this is administered and not? Maybe let's put a pin in it, because I think Yusri Rudolph has a decision. Penalty stands. So it was close to a high boot. We saw that that's what they were really taking a look at. Diego Mejia is pointing to his mouth. The referee decided that wasn't worthy enough for a foul. Diego Mejia loses one of his two challenges. He has one remaining, and Brian Wright, after a long wait, thinking about where he might want to place this, will face Tristan Crampton.
Last 5 penalties for Brian Wright. He's gone 5 for 5. Goalkeeper's right 3 times, goalkeeper's left twice. Tristan Crampton is aware of that. He's done his research. But at the moment, the decision has to be right.
Right on the stutter! And blasts home the first goal of 2026! An FBS challenge, a penalty, and a goal, all first this year. And there's no denying a large part of Forge's success or failure this season comes down to the man who just scored the penalty, and Brian Wright left little doubt as to where he was going to put it and how powerfully he was going to send his laces through it.
Confident, stepping up to this. Brian Wright, you take a look at it again. This is what the action that they're trying to say was a foul, was the high boot that led to Crampton fouling Wright, but Wright steps up with the penalty, confident. Goes to the goalkeeper's right and gets the first goal of 2026. You see Crampton trying to juggle himself behind the line, get his foot on the line before the shot's taken. That little bit of pause from Wright just stalls Crampton up, and he's able to put it in the back of the net.
Career goal number 37 for Brian Wright in 131 matches. That is the fourth most in league history. Two of the three of the top three still active CPL players. As John mentions, Brian Wright at times has had his struggles from open play, but he is a clinician in the penalty spot.
So with FES, the rules and protocol are laid out for you. I mean, at the end of the day, you can review goals, penalty kicks, direct red cards, and mistaken identity. And in this case, it leads to a penalty, but I think the review was on a foul, possible foul of a high boot. And we're all in the same boat here learning about FES. I don't think they can challenge for that.
So this is where we have lots of material to comb through, and they couldn't have done that, and I don't want to avoid match play for too long. Fortunately, we have a goal kick here to talk about it. You're right, John. There are 4 instances that coaches can challenge: goal, no goal, penalty kick, no penalty kick, direct red cards, not second yellow cards, or mistaken identity, but as you sort of go through the subheadings and what it all means, and this is information that FIFA has published for its various clientele across world football. We've seen FBS in some youth tournaments in particular. The coaches have it too. An attacking team offense in the build-up to the penalty incident can be reviewed. So if he thought there was a foul, a high boot that wasn't made, and then a different attacking phase of play. So I kick you, the referee doesn't see it, but then my team turns it over, you get it. I can't then come back and challenge that. It has to be in the same attacking phase of play. That's good work from Manu Aparicio. He got side of his head grazed by Jose Masunda. And Manu's hoping that Jose has trimmed his nails recently.
Lots of weight on his shoulders as well.
Big time.
Defending their title. The veteran losing some other veteran presence around him and behind him, and Nate Ingham.
Worth mentioning as well, had that challenge been a successful one, i.e. they reversed the call, and he would have got that second challenge card back and be able to keep it, kind of like ABS in Major League Baseball. Just have a successful challenge, you're not punished for it, you get to keep those 2 in the holster. Nice spin from Anthony Romatario. Heavy off the chest of Brian Wright and rolled back to Tristan Crampton. 23 years old from Cansley, Quebec, just north of beautiful Ottawa, Gatineau.
Well, up into that point, Forge really had nothing in the attacking third. It all started with a foul on Brian Wright, and then a ball whipped into the box, and chaos ensues, and they get a penalty.
Alu Tabla, stride or 2 on the newest signing for Forge, Romatario. And the lead Coulange, Yevremovic. Sending his line and away. It's a bit of a tweaked position for Marko Yevremovic. We're used to seeing him really and properly playing out wide as a fullback or a wingback. With the injury to Nimick, he's been asked to play a slightly different role alongside Antoine Baptiste.
Brought up Tabla as well, Adam, and a lot of the offensive work this year is going to fall on his shoulders early on to replace Rodriguez and Salter from last year, who carried most of the load. Tabla scored 11 goals and had 3 assists. He's going to have to step it up again this year for this team with the loss of those 2.
They have some fabulous set play takers. Left-footed Aguilar, right-footed Koke. Aparicio, keep half an eye on the captain as well. Lateral from Koke. They want to keep it along the ground. Aguilar, though, whips it in, bounces once. Dimitri Berteau, 26 minutes into his Canadian Premier League career, finally has the ball in hand.
Really impressed with Berteau in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Was excellent for this Forge team.
Tristan Borges overhits the original CPL superstar back in 2019. He was certainly the talk of the town. Golden Boot, young Canadian MVP, followed shortly by a move to Europe and Belgium. Timing unfortunate with the global pandemic that we all remember not so fondly, and shortly thereafter the situation wasn't quite what Borges wanted. He returns to Hamilton, and every single season he comes into it as one of the difference makers this league has on offer. Still just 27 years of age. This is played by Mo Babuli. Tristan Borges finds Masunda on the switch, and Jose Masunda switches off for a moment, just long enough to not be able to field the ball properly.
Just got ahead of himself there, a little bit of a lack of concentration. He was hoping to collect that ball and get going forward, but missed the collecting part. As we see another throw in, slip out of the hands of the thrower.
Kitman will have to go and try to find some gloves. Now, I don't think that this is a Voigt-specific thing, but there's a new football supplier this year, John.
It tends to be a bit slippery if they're brand new balls just out of the bag.
Right. Good hustle from Masunda.
In fact, I hated brand new balls as a goalkeeper, even with gloves that have all sorts of stick. It's not. It's still slippery like a bar of soap, those new balls.
Tavernier through the legs of Coulange. Kozlovsky goes to ground, tries to prevent the corner. Successful tackle and microphone murder. Forge will go to the flag.
Good slip ball in behind. Does a really good job of recovering and timing his slide.
The previous set play ended up leading to a penalty. Tristan Borges whips in a good one off the crossbar. Tristan Borges, an attempt at Olympicos. It's one of our favorite CPL pairings, and he tried another. None as famous as his Olympico in extra time of the CPL final a few years ago. He has the ability to be a threat. Now Peyton. Aparicio going with them. Heavy touch from Peyton, who was isolated and then was late to the challenge. Got more of Aparicio than the ball, and the whistle is blown.
You see there again, no quick from Manny Aparicio. As we take a look at the Olympico from Borges again, he loves that corner. In-swinger, testing the young goalkeeper, Crampton, and it dings off the bar. Also looked like he's got the flag. You can see the flags on the corner blowing from left to right, which helps with that whip as he puts it in on top of the bar.
Well, fortunately in Hamilton, they're avoiding much of the rain that Toronto's getting. That big system, the band is about 50 kilometers away in Toronto, but it is cold and it is windy in Hamilton. There's no doubt about it. Boost when looking for it amongst the center backs. Support run from Coulange. Apple blocks the clearance attempted by Rezard Rama. Forge passing out of the pressure. Romatario starting it off. The switch back was mishit. Peyton keeps Antonoro from getting in behind of him.
I would have loved to have seen a Romatario just go across the field there. He tried to play into Brian Wright, and there was an opportunity for him to play across to Mo Babuli and have numbers driving forward.
Okay. To know that 31 minutes played. 4-1, Atletico Ottawa 0, the CPL season opener in 2026. The Champs owning a lot of the possession in this first half, 70% of it, but from all of that, John, no touches in the opposition box just yet, and no shots attempted either.
The only real action for both teams have come off restarts. Forge with a free kick that led to the penalty, and the corner kick from Borges that hits the bar. On the other side, Ottawa had one free kick into the box, and Ortona was easily collected. Both teams early on in the season still filling each other out. Do have a lot of pieces that are going to be complementary pieces when the starters or the guys that are injured come back. So it's a good opportunity for them to get some minutes early on in the season. And for the coaches to understand what they have and depth on their bench.
Adam Jenkins and Sean Conway with you at Hamilton Stadium. Mackenzie Barwell, our pitchside reporter today. Great to have you along on One Soccer, TSN, and CBC Sports. Match 1 of 112, a 5-match playoff to follow. A new look to it this year, or I suppose back to the older formats. One will play 4, 2 will play 3, home and away, 2-legged fixtures, and a 1-match North Star Cup final. Floating back, Tierdu Haney-Walker heads it down and cleared out by Sergei Kozlovsky. Aguilar sent around by Romatario. Borges chests it down, and Kozlovsky steps on Tavernier just the right time. Our southern neighbors as well joining us this afternoon on FS2. Welcome to Hamilton. Tristan Borges wearing the captain's armband today, fouled by the other captain. A little skipper-on-skipper violence here in the 34th minute.
Neighbors does a good job trying to close down Tristan Borges and not allow him to turn. So Brown will play the ball off the deck there, but Borges tries to slip one through the legs, and he's having none of that. He's just going to go right through Borges, not allow him to get on the other side of him.
Forge captain Kyle Becker, unavailable for selection today. It's a very veteran-heavy team. When one is unavailable, there are plenty of others to step up who know exactly how Bobby Smirniotis wants to play. Nickelcruz, the striker, hustling back, a little overzealous and mistimed on his attempt to separate the Forge midfielder from the football.
Another opportunity here for Forge. Penalty kick came off a free kick earlier on in the game. Which led to their goal. Or just whipped in a good corner kick off the bar, and now he's got an opportunity to whip another one in, put some pressure on Tristan Crampton. High line here for Atletico Ottawa, left foot on the edge of the 18 for the defenders. Big gap between the goalkeeper and the defenders. They drop off.
And there's Reitz! 3 yards from goal. He slipped as he lunged, and it caught him right where his foot meets his ankle and was skied. Golden opportunity on a great service.
That's great opportunity. Good timing there from Brian Wright. The high line from Atletico Ottawa with the new offsides rule. It allows Wright to just hang out and gain a little bit of advantage. And that instance, he needs to put that in the back of the net. A great opportunity to go up 2-0.
On our first episode of Match Night for 2026, in between our CPL fixtures today, we'll get some more thoughts on the alternative laws in trial or on trial this season from you, Gareth Wheeler, and Christian Jack, available on One Soccer. Save some material, John, is what I'm trying to say.
Noted. I just need this game to give me some explosive material to talk about. Bad giveaway there.
Nickel boost. It was a heavy touch to try to get away from Tavernier. With Removich on cleanup duty. Nickel boost, a 1996-born striker from Norway. First real international venture in his footballing career, this. When we met with Diego Mejia, he was obviously quick to credit what Sam Salter and David Rodriguez were able to do, but he said, look, and I think it's a nod to the team members that made that system come to life, but the system really benefiting Salter and Rodriguez as much as Rodriguez and Salter benefited their team without the system.
Those two players were so critical last year for this Ottawa team. David Rodriguez, his ability to unlock defenses off the dribble, create openings for his teammates. Huge advantage for this Ottawa team on their way to the title.
Long switch of play, it's going to reach Tavernier. Got through to Haney Walker. The young center back recovers and makes an important tackle.
First moment of the game for Tavernier to get in a 1v1 situation, and he blows a tire trying to get around the defender. Big moment there for the young attacker.
Minutes have nearly come and gone at Hamilton Stadium. Brian Wright's penalty. The difference in the match so far. 21st minute, Ottawa, for all their possession, haven't really had their chances now. The whistle never blew. And that's why I think everyone was confused for a moment as Nickelbus slid that past Dimitri Berthaud. Ultimately, the referee blows his whistle and points for a foul, not to the center circle for the goal. He was on, but into the feet of Yevremovich.
Good job from Yevremovich there to come over and get between Nickelburst and the goal. The referee allows it to continue.
Six minutes to go before first half stoppage time. Batney off the thigh, Tavernier in a race. Joaquim Coulange. This is safe from the winger. Slight argument for a handball. Now remember, they cannot challenge a corner. That is not one of the four things they can look at. Put us in Tristan Crampton's shoes, John, if you would. You're so excited for your pro debut. You're really not seeing much action because your team's controlling possession, and then suddenly, in one big, brief moment, you have a decision to make. You make the wrong one, you get scored on, and now on your professional debut, you kind of have to go through a mental reset and put it behind you.
Big thing for me on that, and the mistakes will happen throughout the game, especially for young goalkeepers, but it just needs to be reiterated that the most important action is the next action. So after that, his next play, whatever it may be, maybe it's a pass back, maybe it's a goal kick, maybe it's a collection of across, that has to be done with 100% concentration after making an error. I think so far he's done a pretty good job of recovering from that.
Determination to make sure there's some grip on the footballs. Yefremovich, he's got a cannon all the way to the edge of the 6. Headers from Batney, sent wide and away. And Crampton makes his first pro save. A vicious shot, but it's a save nevertheless.
Again, good moto play from Brian Wright. Good first touch. Sets up the action. We're able to get a shot on goal.
Too much hands in the back from Yevremovich. That time the foul is won by Tabla. Interesting as well, John, with Bobby Smirniotis, who suggested one of the things perhaps we could see with the new daylight offside rule is teams could drop further back to try to close down the space or limit what the goalkeepers might have to defend on a breakaway. Is that then opens up some long-range shooting possibilities as well?
It does, and I would be thinking about it from the aspect that I can counterattack quickly. So if I'm the defending team and I want to drop back because I don't like the way the offsides rule works, then I need to have some pace. So that if I'm the goalkeeper and I collect a cross or a ball comes through, I get it. I'm looking to release and get going the other way quickly because I've dropped so deep, the opponent has already moved everybody forward to try and get the attack, and I can take advantage going the other way. These are all things coaches and teams are going to need to find out as this progresses through the season. What works best for their group. That's what coaching is. You find out what works best for your team, and you exploit it to your advantage.
Aguilar must have seen something or thought he saw something down the left as he tried to jam that pass through into space. Crampton, Colgate, Aparicio. Dropping deep to help defend. Still forwards with an opportunity. Borges towards Mobabuli. Antonoro just shields him all the way to win the goal kick.
They got them pinned in. They need to win the ball back. They do so. They were set up off the goal kick defensively really well. Just suffocated Ottawa when they decided to play out.
A long throw from Yevremovich. Tabla back to Antonoro. Straight into touch though from the Brazilian-born winger.
Continued suffocation here for Forge, keeping Ottawa pinned in, just relying on these long throws, trying to create some havoc and get a corner kick out of it. Expect a truckload of injury time with the review.
Is that the official term?
Truckload.
I would agree with you, my friend.
So we have a bully on this side, another in-swinger. And as we pan out, you get a look at the flag, they go short.
Then Payton heads it down into the 6-yard box, and it's sent wide by Kozlovsky. Corner kick is the decision. It was on the right side of the flag.
Good setup on the corner kick there, well choreographed, something they worked on the training ground to find Payton on the back post. Could take advantage of it, tries to hit it back across, she just gets cut out.
Is evidently a throw and not a corner, and Rama will stay. 6 additional minutes to be played at least before the halftime break after our first FVS review in Canadian Premier League history. Crampton. Dehaney Walker. Skips it out, and Yevremovich took that about 300 feet in the air. Or a truckload of feet in the air, John, to
like that.
Stoppage time is presented once again by our friends over at Burnbrae Farms. See what Aguilar can create here with time and space. Out for Antonoro, he has the wheels. Slick surface, able to stop in a hurry. Kozlovsky whips it into the box, diving clearance right. Guides it back to this near side for Forge's attack, right into the Ottawa bench, and coach is looking for tempo to end the half.
Really good recognition there defensively from Romatario. He drops into the back line and heads that ball out.
Coulange. Another youngster from the Montreal area, 19 years old, Joaquin Coulange. Walker, Breeze is on by. Coulange into the feet of Payton, out playing left back today. And the foul goes against the Ottawa attack.
Veteran move there from Payton. Smart, getting in his body in between Coulange and the ball, and just being strong, holding them off. Coulange rides his back and eventually goes to ground.
Play on! Dimitri Berteau on the restarts. Jason Kalela, the fabulous shot stopper. Golden Glove winner last year, signed with Birmingham Legion in the offseason, and Berteau looks like he's not going to be daunted by the task to fill in and would fancy himself as a candidate to keep that award in Hamilton. Lots of new goalkeepers, or at least goalkeepers in new places in 2026. Borges had to take on one too many defenders. First on the loose ball, Duhaney Walker in the defensive net. Toe signs Forge. Garrison Song signed to the Atletico Ottawa, out of the team today. Arthur Carducci heads from Calgary to Halifax. Name is mentioned next to Calgary, replacing there. See Arthur Carducci in action. Halifax won the race this evening against Vancouver. 4 p.m. local time starts in Langley. Ball rolled into touch as the player was still catching their breath after having the wind knocked out of them. Alan Tabla hobbling that one off. Just a hit check to the guts.
No foul there. Good play from Borges stepping in. Just held strong as Tablet comes running across.
Rama. Brown and Sonora on the slide from Kozlovsky. Now Ricochet is about. Kozlovsky got himself tangled up with Rezan Rama, who also knows a thing or two about laying a hard sliding challenge.
Second all-time tackle today for Kozlovsky. Good recognition to come across and make a play after Rama gets loose on the sideline.
Sonoro is fouled, and that is a big spell of fortune for Atletico Ottawa defensively, as Forge looked to be in behind with numbers. Yevremovich can't believe it, and Sonoro slow to his feet. We'll take a look ourselves.
Love this from Yevremovich, though, stepping up, being aggressive from the back line, stepping in and trying to win the ball back. Fortunate there that the foul was committed. But I love that attitude of stepping into the midfield, trying to win back suffocating Atletico Ottawa and winning the ball back in your offensive third, much closer to the goal. One or two passes and you get an opportunity.
The first half of the season in the books from Hamilton Stadium, and it's the hosts on top. Thanks to that man, Brian Wright. He won the penalty. He scored the penalty. We also saw our first look at football video review, football video support, pardon me. We'll discuss that, the goal, and more in the studio after the break. It's Forge 1, Atletico Ottawa 0.
Half protection is not enough. Using just an antivirus online is also not enough. Get better protection from online threats. Get NordVPN now.